Hi, I'm here on the 1st of January 2023 because for the last 30 years I've been a little bit misunderstood. I've been a little bit misunderstood because I had to be someone else. I wasn't good enough for my mother. I wasn't thin enough for my mother. I don't know what I wasn't enough for my mother, but I'm a product of child abuse, and I'm a survivor of domestic abuse, and I figured if there's one of me, there's 1,000 of me. I thought I was the exception to the rule, and the truth is, I am the rule. I'm white by privilege, and it is a privilege. I came from means. I have an education. And my legal name is Molly Shira, which makes me cringe. There was one. My dad's mother was Molly, which made it easy for my mother to form a resentment. She could never be Molly Ackerman. He idolized them both. One was his mother, the other was his daughter. I knew that I had a happy childhood until about the age of 5. I had both sisters. I was very happy. I loved being a big sister. And I did my best to protect them. But at 5, I went to a neighbor's house. And he wanted to play a game. Not a good game. And I told my mom when I got home because I had to fight my neighbor off. And she didn't call the police. And she didn't tell anybody. And she didn't tell my dad. And she didn't protect me. And Molly started to die. And then her mom died. And my mom died. And at the funeral, I was pushed away. And a few months later, when I walked into the baby's room, Sarah, my baby sister, I saw my mom screaming at her. And I said something to my mother, so she slapped me, not her. I am the product of child abuse. And because of that, I only knew abuse. So the only relationships I've had in 46 years were all abusive. Until I found a home, and I got stable, and I got safe. And I figured if there's one of me, there's more of me. I'm not the exception to the rule, which I thought I was. I am the rule. I lost my dad. It'll be 13 years this April. He was my protector. He heard me. He saw me. He named me. I'm named after his mother, and in his eyes, his mom could do no wrong. Who was a pillar of the community and the matriarch of a huge family. Gave birth to 6 kids, raised 5. Was told that her weight was a problem and that she'd lose weight or she was gonna die. And she chose food. She had a food addiction. And so did her 2 granddaughters. My addiction isn't drugs, though I've used them. Good times, bad times, we're gonna get into that later. Every day, for the next 365 days, you're gonna find out why I've been misunderstood. You're gonna hear my voice. You're gonna hear my truth, which is the truth because I can prove it in documents beyond reasonable doubt in court. And hopefully, this will prevent anybody from going through at least one of the traumas that I've survived. Because I've gone through more in my 46 years than most would in 46 lifetimes. It's exhausting. I miss my family. I miss my sisters. I miss my dad. I stopped crying when I was 7 years old. I stopped crying because no one saw the tears. No one came to me, least of all my mother, who I've been trying to please since then. It's a sad story. It's a crazy story. It will take you up. It will take you down. But I promise you it ends well. I started getting misused at the age of 5. I started to find my voice at the age of 43. That's where I found my first home. And then I realized I made my own family. And if this can get to one woman who feels trapped and doesn't know what to do, listen to your voice. Find your strength. You know what to do. If it doesn't feel right, it's not right. Doesn't matter who it is. Family, friend, neighbor, police, EMTs, first responders. If you've been traumatized, your voice has been silenced. I realized that the only way to my freedom was for me to start speaking. So I reached out to cousins, to reporters, to celebrities, because I didn't want to lose my anonymity until I realized that I don't give a fuck what you guys think. I'm gonna do this for me, because 23 years ago, my life changed like that. By no fault of my own. Circumstances, a bad doctor, not wanting the British to fix my teeth. I was young, I was naive, I was out of college. I believed I could actually make a difference. I believed one voice could make a difference. I still do. I just didn't want it to be my voice. But I'm trying to get custody of a friend of mine's child who's now in the foster care system in Florida. And if you know anything about Florida, then you know it's predatory. And his life every day is at risk. I was 41 with a college degree and I almost didn't make it out. My legal name is still Molly Shira Ackerman. But my friends and my family know my real name. And until I'm comfortable telling everyone, you can call me Shira. Because Molly died a long time ago. From abandonment, neglect, abuse, misuse, lies, people using her name, people using her voice, people using her body. And I said nothing because I just wanted to be accepted and loved where I wasn't at home. At least it didn't feel like that. I never felt safe until recently. And this is my story. And it took me 46 years to be able to speak. And I have a bachelor's degree. I'm a bar-accredited paralegal. I'm a certified recovery coach. And I couldn't talk. I couldn't feel. But I can now, and I'm not scared to speak anymore. So for the next 364 days, I hope you join me. And then you'll get to find out my name, and who I am, and my truth, which is the truth, and why I'm doing this. It's the first day of 2023. This is my goddamn year, and no one's gonna take that from me. I was 23 when this started. It's been 23 years. I've given up so much, but I fought like hell to be alive at this moment. And this is where it all changes, and I take control back. So if you've hurt me, justice is coming. And if I owe you, I'm gonna pay you back with interest and love. And I'm paying it forward with peace. This one is dedicated to Emilio and to Felipe and to Heather, who all died of overdoses from a disease called addiction, which we'll get into later, but whom I miss very much. I'll see you guys tomorrow.